Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I am currently a sick Lambo. As it turns out, somebody was kind enough to share just a touch of the Rona with me. How thoughtful, you know? You ever heard sharing is caring, and especially, when it 'tis the season? My gosh, I'm thankful. You gotta love this. And so I want to caution you, if you don't want me to share a touch of the Rona with you, then you might want to socially distance from your device that you're streaming this on. Maybe back up maybe 6 feet to be safe. Bad news if you've got some AirPods or just headphones in, you are already infected, so you might as well just keep listening as you are. That's perfectly fine. It is too late. But hey, again, sharing is caring, so it doesn't matter, right? And so I shared on Twitter when I got sick. It was on December 26th. At least it wasn't on Christmas, although I guess that means... Actually, maybe that's worse, because that means that I probably already had and wasn't feeling anything. But it was December 26th, and I woke up and I was just like, oh no, this will not do. No, it's just like, ugh. It was, it's just, how can I describe it? It's basically like, for me, and I know everybody's experience is different, so not to diminish the experience of anybody else, but for me, honestly, it's not been that bad, all things considered. I'd say every flu I've ever had has been worse. I would say that. Some colds I've had have been worse. But again, that's not to diminish anybody that's had serious, ramifications from all this. I'm just talking about my personal experience. It's not been bad, which is kind of what I was expecting, because I'm young enough and, no underlying health issues or anything like that. So I've never personally been fearful of this. But yeah, so I woke up on the 26th. And I had a temperature, nothing crazy. It was 99.5, and that's actually where it peaked. And there's a bunch of, how it is when you're sick. Even if you've not had this, you've gone through this, I'm sure, where if you have the flu, you're really hot, and then you're really cold, you're really hot, you're really cold. And then my entire body was achy, but that was the worst of the symptoms. And I started feeling better the next day, and then I felt even better the next day. And then by the 4th day, literally, that was yesterday, I was like, I think I might record some YouTube videos. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just, because I was finally, I felt like my mind was clear enough where I could do it on the 4th day. But I was like, yeah, maybe it's too strenuous. I'll wait one more day. So here I am on the 5th day. Hopefully I seem like myself. I am still sick at this point for sure. So, for instance, even right now, I think I have a temperature, but I don't know, because my stupid thermometer broke on the 3rd day, so I haven't really known since then. But I if I do, it's got to be really slight. Other than that, I haven't had aches in a couple days to any notable degree. I feel mostly back to normal, but I'm probably gonna need a few more days. And I'm hoping this is not one of those things that just lingers, but I'm pretty well back at it. And so I just wanted to explain that, because I've been away for a longer than normal period of time. And if you're on Twitter, you may already know this, but a lot of you listening are not on Twitter, which is my favorite cesspool, so you may be unaware. So I just thought I'd share. I going to be okay, though. I'm doing just fine. So to somebody else that's going through this, I hope that you're having, non-severe struggles, but I know that's not the case for anybody. So nothing but sympathy, just to be super duper clear. But no, the good news for me is this is not something that seems to be serious. And if it starts going the other way, okay, fine. But I find that unlikely on my 5th day. So it is what it is, and it's good to be back, because I'll tell you what, I've been sleeping most of each day. Some of these days is 12 hours of sleep at least. I'm just sitting there streaming crap, mindless stuff where I don't have to really think. So it's good to be back here. And we can talk a little bit of crypto, a little bit of XRP here, and sorry to those who are now infected. But I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So I think it's undeniable at this point that market cycles in crypto lengthening, right? That seems pretty obvious at this point. I think it's safe to say, right? And so, look, here's the way I look at this stuff, just in general. And this is why I've got all the patience in the world. I will outpatient anyone else. It's because I'm getting paid. This is the way I look at it, kind of. I'm getting paid life-changing money to do nothing. All the little lemmings out there, people emotionally responding, they're going to mess some stuff up. That's my expectation anyway. I'm not, because I'm going to do nothing for a long period of time. And so consider this. This market cycle, this will clearly, I think, be the longest crypto cycle in history, unless you believe the entire market, including altcoins, will crash down in the next couple weeks and enter a multi-year bear cycle without ever having a euphoric alt season first. Now, I don't believe we'll enter a multi-year bear market without a euphoric blow-off top for altcoins. I just don't see that happening. And so think about this. And I actually mentioned this in one of my last videos before I got sick. It's like people that bought XRP in 2013, which was the first year it was publicly traded, they had to hold it over 4 years to see it blast off to almost $4. They had to hold it over 4 years. And then, those that held, they got theirs. It blasted up somewhere in the region of 80,000%. 80,000%. Okay? So they got paid to do nothing. The people that stuck around. Now, most people didn't, though. They're in and out and wishy-washy. Oh, this coin's boring, blah, blah, blah. History shows us the people that behave like that end up having a hard time. But look, we haven't been waiting as long as those people had to. We haven't yet. As XRP hit its all-time high almost 4 years ago, it was actually on January 4th of 2018. That will be the 4-year mark since the all-time high. And so it's easy to see how impatient humans ruin their chance for life-changing wealth. It's very easy to see. I'm not going to be a part of that. I've made my decision. My bet is the same. Ever since the bubble inflated and then popped, my bet was that either this thing goes to zero or it's going to have another rally where it'll hit all-time high in enterprise discovery. It's going to be one or the other. All the stuff in between doesn't matter to me, so it's one of the reasons I emotionally don't have a hard time with this. I also only invested what I was willing to lose in case I'm wrong about all this, because I don't know anything for sure. That's why I keep telling you, I'm not offering financial advice, but I do happen to feel strongly about this. It's just happy to share what I'm doing. But it's an exciting time, and so think about this again. It will be the longest market cycle. We're already there. So it's already proven. Look, we're at the end of December. We haven't seen the euphoric blow-off top. So all the people that thought that it was a 4-year cycle, at this point, nothing against any of them, but I think that's been proven wrong. It's pretty obvious, and that's fine. So now we know. We've got more information. So now the question is, the lengthening cycle theory, it's clearly true. How long is this thing going to go? And different people have different bets. A lot of people say first quarter. A lot of people say second quarter. There are a few that I follow that even think you might see this thing lag into the third quarter of this year. And I don't pretend to know for sure, but I don't mind seeing what we're seeing right now. The whole market moves in tandem. XRP's at 84 cents. Bitcoin at $47,593. Market cap for the asset class, 2.28 trillion. And Bitcoin dominance at 39.34%. And by the way, here's a crypto fear and greed index at 22 out of 100, indicating that the poor, lovable, cuddly little lemmings out there, the typical retail speculators, they're in extreme fear, continuing to follow one another off the cliff to their own demise. You hate to see it. You just hate to see it. I wanted to briefly mention this. There's this article from You Today titled, XRP users move funds away from exchanges as inflows on crypto market increase. Now, in general, the concept... that's a good thing to see actually being grounded in reality. Because as any crypto, it's not just XRP, any crypto in mass moves off of exchanges, that's an indication, just one thing you can look at, there's other things you can look at too, but one indication that people are not really in a selling mood. If they're in a selling mood, they'd have XRP, they'd be moving it to exchanges. And so the headline itself is like, oh, that's good to show me the data. And there's something I just, after reading this, I was like, well, this isn't true, and I just decided I'd quickly correct it. And I like You Today, but they got this wrong. They noted that there's an exchange here, Nexo, N-E-X-O. They moved 162 million XRP off their platform. That's what it said. Except for this isn't true, and you can easily verify it, because they were talking about this whale alert tweet here. And you can click on the links yourself. So here you can see, excuse me, here you can see the actual transaction, 162 million. And if you click on the destination, which is this page right here, you can see it just goes to another Nexo wallet. That's it. So there is no story here, but I wanted to correct it since it's in crypto media and just state, no. So I don't know why they moved it, but not specifically. But it's well known that exchanges the world over will move all sorts of cryptos from one wallet to the next for security reasons. Specifically what those reasons are, why they do it at the times they do, we're not privy to that, but it's typically associated with that. So I would hazard a guess that's all that it is. So just wanted to point that out. And then there was this tweet from chart analyst Credible Crypto from just yesterday. And he shared this chart showing the Bitcoin price action from July of last year, when Bitcoin got down to about $30,000. And then he has this arrow pointing to where it hit its most recent all-time high. I guess it was end of October, wasn't it? Or was it beginning of November? I don't know. Days blur together, but it was around then when it got up to somewhere in the neighborhood of $68,000. And so then he had this little quote here from a fictional human saying the following: "There's no way we can still be bullish if we move down to $30,000. If that happens, it's over." And then Incredible Crypto wrote, sir, ... sharing this chart. That already happened, right? And it was fine, so it can happen. And then somebody named Crypto Fenny wrote, yeah, for traders it's bullish, but holders gonna get screwed. And I was scratching my head a little bit on that, nothing against the individual, but I was kind of like, that doesn't really make sense to me, and it didn't to Credible Crypto either, who wrote the following: "How are they gonna get screwed if we are going to go back up, LOL? Anyone who sells after a 40% drop is going to get screwed 9 out of 10 times." And so I agree with that general concept, which is why, again, it's so easy to see, because when do people sell? When the price goes down. What happens after the price goes down? Usually goes back up. Actually, every time it has historically since the inception of the crypto asset class, even after dramatic bear markets where you see over 80 or 90% plunges, it still goes back up. So how you gonna act now? So that's why, yes, you could be, if you buy after a 40% dip, it's true. It could go even lower. You could be so unfortunate that it goes down 80% total or over 90% total. That's true. That's a risk. Investing is risky. That's true. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that the vast majority of the time, that's not the case. And we already know to look for euphoric blow-off top. So it's like, what the hell is everybody freaking out about? We'll see. It's going to be coming. And until it comes, I'm going to out-patient everyone else. And this is, given that this is clearly a lengthening cycle, I'm very curious to see how long this thing goes. Hopefully sooner than later, because I'm ready to get mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we all are. I think we'd all prefer this. And Incredible Crypto also wrote, in reference to that chart that I just shared with you, "No, I'm not saying we are headed back to $30,000, LOL. The point of this post was to point out the flawed logic of people attacking those of us who are advocating buying the dip in the low 40,000s. We are being met with, 'You're always bullish. How can you still be bullish at $30,000 to $40,000? I added that, but that's what I hear in my head, that type of stuff. It always sounds whiny when I read stuff like that from people. It's like, I want my Lambo now. It always sounds like that to me. And so Incredible Crypto, indeed, he's not calling necessarily for $30,000 Bitcoin, but he has said publicly anywhere in that range. I saw him before I got sick. He even said $30,000 to $42,000. It's in the realm of possibility. He didn't say for sure that, $30,000 is going to happen, but somewhere below 42,000, he does seem to think that's reasonable and possible. Now, he's not the only one that thinks that we're going to be going lower. In fact, Leb Crypto, he seems much more confident that we will be going lower. Here's a tweet from him yesterday where he wrote he expects Bitcoin to get down to $29,000 to $30,000 in the coming weeks. And so this is one of those things where it's going to be interesting. Is the blockchain backer correct? And he could be. Is he correct? And, this is just the Bitcoin bear market, and we're just going to see a slow grind down. And if so, at some point, we've got to see the euphoric blow-off tops. You would think it would happen sooner than later if that's correct. But if we go down here and we're still not seeing that, I've got a question mark over my head at that point. So I don't know, and I'm not saying who's right and who's wrong. This is just me thinking through it out loud, just like everybody else is thinking through it. And then there is this from Leb Crypto about XRP, and I think you're going to like this one. He wrote the following, and this is on the day that I got sick, December 26th. Over the coming few months, likely by second quarter, I expect XRP to outperform, break 4-year consolidation, and print one of its rare, strong monthly candles, a December 2017 type candle. This would likely hit our first target of $8. Would mind $8 XRP, second quarter again. Hey, if I'm getting paid to be patient, ain't no problem up in here. And then he said, this is technical analysis, chart-based, not fundamental analysis. And so to me, that makes more sense. As much as I do believe that long-term utility matters and will win the day, fundamentals will rule all. Big picture doesn't matter sufficiently right now. And so I'm on board with this concept just in general. The whole market moves in tandem. XRP is part of the market. It's a no. As far as I'm concerned, it's a no. It doesn't mean I know for sure, but that's how it feels to me at this point, for real. And then there was this from the Daily Huddle. Here's why more pain in the streets is necessary for crypto markets, according to analyst Nicholas Merton. So I keep seeing this from all sorts of very popular analysts that I follow who think that there's going to be some more pain before we get our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. A popular crypto analyst says that predictions of a Bitcoin euphoric rise or an epic crash are both unlikely and that Bitcoin may need to experience some pain before it can reach new all-time highs. In a new strategy session, Nicholas Merton tells his 489,000 YouTube subscribers that he does foresee Bitcoin achieving a valuation of $200,000 late next year, but not before further tests of crypto investors' mettle. And here's a quote. What we are likely going to get is a rally to $200,000 somewhere in late 2022. But before we get that, there's a very good chance that we could roll over, that this recent rally is nothing more than a dead cat bounce, and that we are going to have to see more pain in the streets. We need to see more pain in the crypto markets before we move higher. End quote. And so again, if that happens, I will do precisely nothing. I'm going to sit here because data shows the people that react to this crap, they get slapped upside the face. Like they do. It is violent. I do not advocate that, but it happens to them. Figuratively, of course. Anyway, I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know how long this cycle is going to go. Maybe we all get surprised and it is actually at the tail end of this year. And look, I've said a number of times, especially over the last half a year, I said I'd be very surprised if 12 months out we're not in a bear market. And I still stand by that, but it doesn't mean I know that for sure. And if it goes longer, it goes longer. Fine, I don't control this crap. I'm just saying, even with a lengthening cycle, I mean, it can only lengthen so much, right? There's a point where things are gonna pop. I just don't know when that is. So what I've been saying over the last, X number of months, 4 or 5 months, on and off, just saying, I'd be surprised. Well, I still would be surprised, but who the hell knows for sure? Who the hell knows? I'm just saying whatever it is, I'm here for it. Period. That's me, because I'm not a wizard. I do not know. I'm going to be here for it, though, because I think that the opportunity, the upside, is way more likely than XRP going to zero, which sounds silly to me. It is what it is. You got to make your own bets. I don't know what's right for you. I don't know your financial situation. I'm not offering it as advice. We're all adults and got to make our decisions, but I'm being transparent. That's what I've decided. I'm going to continue to hold, and it's not my only holding. XRP is my largest crypto holding, but I hold almost 30 cryptocurrencies. So I'm not relying only on that in the world of crypto. And other than that, I have other investments as well. So I'm just not worried. I'm really not. I wake up excited about this every single day, except for when I get tremendously ill. So, and look, also I gotta say, when I put this out on Twitter, my gosh, like the level of love and support, like you responded the way that you've groomed me for. Like I'm used to you guys always being so sweet, and my gosh. It was almost 100% comments of just like love and support effectively. And so I also wanted to say, I do not take that for granted. That is so kind of you guys. I love the XRP community. Hands down, the best community in all of crypto. You guys are so supportive. I hit hard on a bunch. I'm sorry if I missed yours. It's definitely nothing personal. I read a bunch. It's just, I have been sick. I've been laying in bed. And you know how it feels when you're sick? It's like, I don't even want to like lift my arm and do anything. Like I wasn't much on the computer. Like there's a little bit, I like checked Twitter a little bit, but I wasn't even really in those first few days. Like I wasn't even checking crypto stuff, like crypto price. I was like, I can't, I just need to like veg out here and do absolutely nothing, which is what I did. Streamed a bunch of nonsense, but definitely feeling much better. So hopefully it doesn't get weird and go the other direction, but 5 days in, I'm kind of skeptical of that happening. I think I was through the worst of it after the first day. So I'm certainly not afraid of this thing. Again, nothing but sympathy for everybody that's had a harder time than me. And I do mean that very, very sincerely, but I'm just thankful that I'm not. And I wish the best for all of you as well, because it's out there, folks. It's definitely out there. That's a real thing. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.